Hello, I'm Fisi!
And I'm Ycoms.
And welcome to the final round of Season 13 in the AOR PC Split 1 League for the FisChris Underdog Squad. We are at Interlagos, the best place you can imagine, ending a Formula 1 season. And there was no video for COTA last time out, unfortunately, because Chris wasn't there and I didn't want to upload it because I was shit. Okay, let's pause it there for a second. Before we move on to the Brazil race, I'm going to compensate for my lack of video last week by giving you a very brief recap of the events at COTA. A race which I was pretty motivated for. I had done quite a lot of practice, wanted to, you know, make sure to get a good result to save a good chunk of points for the team in Chris's absence, just like I did in Suzuka. And although COTA is a track where I don't usually get particularly great results, I was feeling pretty decent in practice. However, when it came to qualifying, when it actually mattered, I managed to get a decent banker lap in with the 136.6. However, for the rest of qualifying, I spent the whole thing just bottling lap after lap. Couldn't get a lap together, and in the end my 0.6 was my qualifying lap, which was at least 3 or 4 tenths of a second slower than what I know I could do. So starting P9 on the grid, and oh great, of course, the weather forecast says it's going to start raining midway through the race. And obviously I've qualified just inside the top 10, which means I have to start on these super soft tires that will not last until the mid part of the race. Fantastic, so essentially everyone outside the top 10 will be able to go on durable tires to last them until the rain, while I'll have to do a pit stop, so essentially I'm starting second to last. See ya, Papa. Hey guys, let's go around the outside of everyone at turn 1, because that always works out fantastically well, as you can see right here. Oh great, a laggy Williams, just what I need right now. Thank you very much, really enjoyed that. Yep, great, fantastic, really good. Whee! Oh. Look at this overtake, fantastic use of DRS. And there we go, I'm the best. Well, unfortunately I need to get rid of these fucking shit tires. Bye everyone, bye points. Hello, P16, woo! Here we go again, lining up a fantastic overtake here, masterful use of DRS. Let's go for a cheeky dive. Oh, DRS it is then, can't stop me now. And don't even need DRS for this one, up there inside, yes, P12, exactly the position I want. Well, here comes the rain, so rip. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thanks. Really nice. Thanks. At the very least, I managed to push chicane into a mistake after lots of laps of trying, but P12 wasn't exactly the position that I got excited about getting when I'm in a Constructor Championship fight and points is all that matters. So it was one of those races where I just knew already from the first few laps of the race that it just wasn't going to work out. Wasn't able to make any progress on the super softs at the start. Dropped behind basically everyone once I had to make the early pit stop, and the wet pace wasn't good enough at all to make up for the time lost in the pits. So overall, just a really kind of disappointing and demotivating race, which is why I couldn't be bothered making a video for it. But here you go, now you know kind of what happened. And that's how it is, so let's get back to Interlagos.
Oh dear, well, let's forget about that race then. Probably we should explain a little bit what the championship position, or, you know, how the championship stacks up before this final race. It is confirmed now that Berg has won the championship indeed by scoring enough points there at COTA to, win it. So I can't, you know, challenge him anymore for the driver championship. And very sadly, we also lost the Constructors' Championship lead, so we will have to outscore Berg and Slick, Mercedes boys, by 10 points today to still claim it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough task, especially considering both of those are in really good form as well. So, yeah, not ideal, really, situation we're in, but I guess all we can do is jump into the action and try to do our best. So, let's go into qualifying.
Right, for the final time in Season 13, welcome to the qualifying comparison for the FisChris Underdog Squad. And unfortunately, in the rain, for full wet conditions here at Interlagos, breaking down into the Senna S exit out of here is very tricky and very crucial as well for the rest of the lap. Huge corrections there for both of us. You are even on the curb there on the exit there out of turn 3, and I'm a little bit ahead after the first sector. Yeah, you are indeed. You were short shifting so much more than me through there, but that might have benefited you, and it's the reason you're ahead. So it's decent stuff for the lap. Oh my god, you've had a pretty big wiggle there actually, just going up the hill there. And this time it was you that was on the curb.
but I don't think there was any time gain there, as I'm sliding my way into the right-hander now. Both of us taking that in second gear and then throwing it in the long left-hander. Gotta be way more patient through here compared to in the dry. Gotta, you know, modulate the throttle and correctly oversteer, and then the hairpin, very slow speed. You're short shifting like a crazy person still, and then trying to not lose the back end through the long left-hander as we head into the final sector.
Yes, which basically only consists of this corner, but the traction out of here is probably one of the trickiest traction zone ever on the calendar. I have to say, really, you can get oversteer even in 6th gear, and but we both managed to do a decent job there, and I think for both of us, not such bad laps. Let's see how we are stacking up on the grid with a 121.5 for me and a 121.9, so basically 3/10 apart from each other.
Yeah, and P3 and P6, I think that was decent, really,
yeah.
And especially considering you were only 1/10.5 of pole as well, and I was less than half a second. So, considering we both usually don't like qualifying in the wet, I think we can be pretty happy with that, and especially considering there's still 15 drivers present as well for the final race of the season. So we have qualified the majority of the grid, and Slick down in 9th, Berg in 4th. So both of us ahead of one Mercedes at least.
Yeah, that's definitely a very, very good, you know, thing here. Better than I thought, really, in qualifying. But unfortunately, that also means our strategy advantage, or our tyre wear advantage, whatever you want to call it, really, that we planned for this race, is now blown out of the window, because everyone can start on whatever tyres they want to, and obviously the one-stop strategy is once again the faster one, medium, hard, medium, whatever you want to start on. So everyone is gonna do that, and basically we can't just out-strategize someone, we just have to do the job on the track.
So annoying, just like in Suzuka when you were not there, and it was I had like planned an amazing tyre wear masterclass to do one stop from the softest tyre, and yeah, I mean here we would have qualified on the mediums anyway, but you know, many other people might not have. So yeah, it's annoying. Once again, you know, have the strategy not really in our favour, but either way, decent starting positions. Everyone on the similar stop strategy. So let's see what we can do on the track then as you launch your way off the grid from 3rd position. A little bit of a wheel spin as Berg is actually trying to get up the inside slightly, but at least you have space there to brake a bit later on the outside of Stries, and Berg still alongside, but you're giving him a nice little squeeze there on the exit to shut the door to maintain P3. And no contact by the looks of it so far, at least not around us. And I've actually been mugged though by Fugitaro into turn 1, and now braked way too early into turn 4 there, and to be honest, I think I still had the sort of the wet weather brain engaged there, yeah. And I started braking like 50 meters earlier than I needed to do. So unfortunately RBK took advantage of that, and it's not been the best start really for me, dropping 2 positions just from being a little bit, yeah, just not getting used to the dry again as quickly as I needed to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one of the most trickiest, I guess, laps, in the race, really. First lap, then coming from the full wets onto the dry, you're just not used to the amount of grips you have really on the track anymore. But worth mentioning, RBK as well as Stries up in front here in P2 are both on the hard tires, and so it's pretty crucial for us, for both of us, to, you know, not lose any time behind these drivers. And at the moment it seems like Ram defended that position pretty beautifully, and also it's going to be you know, interesting to see whether we will have slipstream today, because that has not been the case really in the last couple of races. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Let's see, that's always a big uncertainty, isn't it, with this game, as whether you will have slipstream. Stries maybe has a bit of slipstream there, challenging Ram for the lead, going up the inside through turn 1 ahead of you, maybe slowing them down a little bit so that you can catch back up after looking like Stries was pulling away a little bit. But yes, Stries taking the lead on the hard compound tires. I must say that's pretty impressive actually. He's looking very, very fast here again. But at least you're doing a good job keeping up at the moment and keeping Berg at bay. So I don't think we can really fault you so far, even though it would have been ideal if we are to have any chance really of closing that 10 points. You kind of, there's a bit of pressure on you to win this race really.
Yes, definitely. That was that. Yeah. If none of us would win this race, it's pretty not impossible, but under normal circumstances it shouldn't be possible then. So yeah, And but at the moment it's not in such bad condition. Normally Ram is someone who is very good, like probably one of the fastest drivers in the wet really in this league, but in the dry he struggles a little bit more, so I was pretty confident to be faster than him later on in the race. Streets obviously someone to watch for it anyway. RBK was very quick in practice as well, so a lot of drivers could interfere into this race win here today, and I don't gain anything on that. Ram, and here comes Berg up the inside, even though I tried to defend
my
them.
goodness!
And just tried to take two in one move, and somehow he stayed on the track there.
That was pretty aggressive. I'm not sure how Berg didn't spin from just smashing into Ram's sidewall there. I must say, he was quite lucky, and we, in Constructor Championship terms, were quite unlucky there that he didn't kill himself. But yeah, that's how it is. So Berg up to P3, a little bit unfortunate, but oh my god, you're getting pretty close there, going up the hill in the second sector. No real crisis yet though, because obviously everyone here very close on pace at the moment by the looks of it, and a long race to go. And I'm sure at some point, you know, when people start pitting and stuff, it might be a chance to do some laps in clean air.
Jesus Christ, RPK has gone through the medium runners here, Fugitaro and the Afro. That's very impressive, really. Oh my god, very bad exit there from Afro. Let's see what you can do in the slipstream, or if you have any, I don't even know. Let's see, down the straight. Nope. Not really. Obviously,
Afro DRS, no advantage there either.
Yeah. Obviously, Afro has a little bit of slipstream as well from the car ahead, if both of us would have had one, but not as much really. Normally, in normal circumstances, you should be able to go there.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
That's too close.
Yep, definitely. It was not such a bad smash actually. I was surprised that I got damaged there because, you know, remember Austria touching 14 cars in the back way harder than this and didn't get any damage. And now, that's interesting.
That's what the front wing damage does immediately.
Yep.
Oh god, this is going to be painful then. This is going to be not good considering it's still over 30 laps to go in the race. And you're going to have to make the decision as well whether to change that wing on the pit stop or struggle with the...
Surely I don't drive 30 laps on this front wing. Surely not. Oh my god, there's Berg up the inside of Ram. A little bit of a twitch there. Ram trying to get underneath again. I'm very, very close down. Let's see, can I do anything about Ram here into this corner? It would be crucial still with the front wing damage to get past, and no. Nope.
Oh dear. So I'm actually challenging Afro on the outside into turn 4, trying to brake a little bit late, but that's never going to work unless you're at least fully alongside into the braking zone around the outside there. So Afro also well staying ahead, although I was a little bit surprised actually, considering Afro did qualify ahead of me, that I was suddenly faster than him after he was looking quite good at the start of the race, and again he's not getting the best exit out of turn 2 and 3 here, so I should be close. This time he doesn't even have DRS, so I'm gonna this time pull to the outside again as he's defending very hard. This time I am ahead, but braking pretty late. Can I get it turned in though? No, didn't quite get it turned in as much as I wanted to. There, and after the branch just slipped back underneath. I'm so annoyed with myself for that, because that should have been such an easy position claim there, but I think it just was a split second too late on the brakes, and that's why I didn't get a turn in for that. So yeah, that was my chance to pass Afro, but hopefully I'll get another one.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, really. He doesn't have any DRS, so it should be fine, as I still encounter some hilarious understeer in that corner. Surprisingly, I'm still in DRS. I was very surprised that I don't lose like half a second now per lap, but for some reason I was even green during that second sector. So I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. Streets is still leading on the hard tires, so that's weird as well. RBK is pretty close behind as well. And yeah, I've just set a personal best with front wing damage. I don't even know how that even possible. That's very close to Afro there. A little bit unstable on the brakes as well. Can happen a little bit into this corner. I have to trail brake a little bit. And lap 12, I'm going into the pits. That's a very early pit, I have to say. I did in practice, oh my god, that was actually close to get it. It was on 79 kph.
Jesus, no, that would have just ended it fully, really, if you had gotten a drive-through there. But at least you managed to avoid that. This painful front wing change, so let's see what the time will be. Come on, hurry up, guys, what are you waiting for? Come on! God, they're taking fucking million hours even, and that's a 10.2 second pit stop for you. So about at least, you know, 7 seconds lost there. That
might be close to you actually once you pit.
That's a good point, good point. Speaking of me, I tried to pass Afro again, didn't work. So, getting a little bit annoyed actually by just not managing to make a move on Afro Air. And gonna try the undercut though on lap 13. On the next lap, I'm gonna go into the pits a little bit more cautious. I knew 65, but at least avoiding a drive through. Both of us have done now, hopefully, the final pit stop of the season. So at least that's something. But let's see now where we will be. Obviously, I will have hopefully a normal length pit stop.
Classic 2.9. Classic 2.9 minute pit stop there.
Yeah, could have been better. And yeah, it looks like we will be very close actually. So you're coming into turn 1 now, so I'm on the exit. And here we go. It could be side by side even as you're gonna come past the pit exit here. Let's see. Nope, you're gonna be just ahead. So that's actually I'm fine with that really, because if I'd been ahead of you, considering I know your pace, I would probably have just gotten in the way. So that kind of worked out pretty well. And actually, I can try to cling on to a bit of DRS on you even.
Yep.
So
no, you probably don't have slipstream, but you at least have DRS. That's something.
And there was a car on the pit exit there, and that must have been for Guitaro actually. And now Afro is on the pit exit as well. Where is he going to fit out? Ah, still just ahead of me. I didn't manage to undercut him, despite him pitting on lap 16, which was yeah.
It's very surprising that he was able to keep up the pace. Really, maybe the medium's gone a little bit faster, which was normally the case anyway. But not that much really, because you was setting good lap times, high 12s I think it was.
Yeah,
to me actually. So
keeping in DRS actually. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. So I'm going to still have to deal with Afro. And even now though, at the start of lap 20, skipping on a bit, caught up to the heart of Guitaro. And you I mean, the gap to the front runners now that you were with before is quite massive. You need to get past Guitaro as quickly as possible really to have any sort of chance of catching up to those guys here.
Yep. Didn't gain enough though with the DRS even. Oh, a little bit of a twitch there. I can't get the inside line for turn 4. I did one of these moves actually in practice up the inside of turn 6, but that's not possible around the outside really. And no move into here as well. Yeah, I probably need to start to think about trying to overtake Guitaro somewhere else than on the straight, because it's clearly not working without any slipstream. And maybe here, exit out of here is normally something very, very nicely where you can do something, and otherwise it has to be a dive bomb really somewhere pretty close here actually to thing. And I actually decided to go off the inside.
Guitaro started coming though, luckily. Oh, a bit of a tire banging there as well as you're on the outside going through the left-hander, and that's the squeeze, and you've been spun off onto the grass. For God's sake, as if it wasn't going unfortunate enough already for Guitaro's. Oh my god. Yeah, I can relate to that. Just no grip on the grass field tires. Strees is going to go through. He's had a problem as well then somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's annoying. From your view, it definitely looked like Guitaro squeezed you massively there. But you never know with this game if it might have been different on his screen.
It looked like it.
Yep. That's all I can say.
It looked like the classic F1 2016 lag incident which we normally don't see too much on PC. We should see that much more on Xbox or on the consoles really. But yeah, unfortunate that that really happened at such a point really. Yeah, I mean, at this point really,
have you given up on the race win yet?
Yeah, obviously. After the front wing damage, I definitely did. Anyway, for some reason there's still front wing damage there. Interesting. I just noticed it had a slight green there for some reason. I don't even know. Anyway, skipping on to lap 27, someone on the mediums is catching you. That is Failer in the Force India, and I assume he's on much fresher tires than you. So
side on the hards.
So it's gonna be
See you later.
On the outside, there we go. Better traction as well there. Oh, good enough anyway for Failer to get the position.
Nothing I could really do to defend from the tire advantage that he had.
Oh, that's Ram.
Oh, what?
He must have pitted again then, really. That's very interesting.
That's not really. I don't understand why he would go for two-stop, really. But sure. He's going to also be on really fresh mediums though, so it's going to be hard for you to keep up with him, really.
Yeah.
And actually, we're going to skip up to lap 33, because not too much happened in that little gap there, and Ram is actually now with me instead. So there we go. And I doubt I'm gonna have too easy a time to keep him behind. Hopefully I'm still just within the DRS of Afro though, otherwise I could be a sitting duck here on the straight. Hopefully Ram will also have the slipstream glitch at least, so that it will be a tiny bit easier.
Like
and it does seem like he's not really closing, as I do have the DRS as well. Indeed, he's closing under braking, but I'm going to shut that door to not let him slip up the inside. Also going to try to get a good exit through here, so that again I can defend on the straight, and again I'm close enough to have DRS. So yeah, it's going to be a tough task really in these final 3 laps. Unfortunately, at this point we've kind of, you know, we've kind of realized unless Berg disconnects, the Constructors' Championship isn't really going to happen, unfortunately.
Nope.
So
and you I think you'd need to gain a little bit more, 1 or 2 more positions. On Afro is probably the best chance you really have, since Fader is on the mediums. But for that to happen, really, Afro needs to drop out of the DRS of Fader to make it happen.
Let's see that. We go ahead, gonna head into the final lap in just a moment. The final lap of the season. Slight lock up there for me into the final corner. That could put me under pressure from Ram, who's right behind me in the traction zone. And I'm putting fuel up to wrist job, even though I'm a little bit close actually on running out here. But it looks like I'm actually pulling away from Ram on the straight somehow. Not sure why why that straight line speed came from. And actually closing in on Afro a little bit. Maybe gonna try to line him up for a move. Instead, no, that's not gonna work with that oversteer. And actually, oh, I've been touched by Ram as well. I kept my foot in though. But yeah, I definitely felt a touch from Ram there through turn 3. Just went off the track to make it look a little bit more dramatic. But yeah, at least I've stayed ahead. Kind of lost touch to Afro though.
Yeah, I think with that said though, then that's probably gonna be P5 for you. And I just had to glance there at your lap times really. I think this is one of the tracks really where you had the best one of the best performances regarding pace, I would say.
Sure.
Because going into under 12.5 really on the hards in the end is pretty impressive, and just shows as well that you have really good tyre as well. Berg wins race actually, interestingly enough, which is not really surprising since Dries did not compete there at the front in the end. RBK I think finished 2nd. You gotta finish 5th. Pretty solid result, and I'm going home. I'm going home in 7th. What the hell? I'm bringing home 7th. I'm waiting for Fugutaro. Yeah, just weeping a little bit there.
Sure.
I was still not happy. I think he wasn't happy either, because we both lost a shot there at a podium position maybe. But these are the final results here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and the new champion also wins the final race of the season in very close fashion there, with RBK have kind of been in their own league really after everyone else broke apart. And in the end, Slick in 10th position, but it actually would have been enough if Berg would have disconnected. Anyway,
exactly.
But you know, we do not wish such bad luck to anyone really. And these are the final standings for the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with P5 really, and that is gonna serve to make me safe in P6, even though Fader finished just ahead. He's gonna move ahead of Dries. But yeah, P6 for me. I think it's been quite safe for you for a while to finish in 2nd, which you can blame your holiday that you lost the championship maybe, but would have been hard anyway, obviously, considering Bergs has been really on fire in the last few races as well. And yeah, I think definitely a really good season for you.
Yes.
I dropped 1 position from season 12, but still, you know, considering the general competitiveness throughout the field in this season, even though, you know, there was no absolute alien like Tigger or something, the whole field was really competitive. So I think P6 is still pretty solid. And yeah, 20 points in the end between us and Mercedes in the constructors after Berg won the race. That's a little bit disappointing, really, but.
Yeah, I thought at least we could wrap that up, because we were leading by almost 60 points at some point. But obviously, I think we underestimated how much points we could lose really towards the end. I think it was really Spa that was the turning point.
Yeah, definitely.
Where, I mean, for me especially, from Spa on, or from Spa in the last third of the race, of the season, I scored 14 points or something. That's just basic. That's way too. That's not much at all, and it is not enough really in the end. So I guess it's not really surprising that we lost such a huge amount of the lead, especially with Slick also performing very, very well at the likes of Monza, I think it was. Also Japan, I think, top P4 there. So yeah, it kind of, you know, got the tables turned really in this last third of the season against us. But I guess we shouldn't, you know, stick the head into the sand or stick the head into the sand. Just, you know, look back at a very, very good season, especially at our 1-2 at Canada.
Oh yeah, that will be the highlight for sure. The Canada 1-2, which was pretty cool. Yeah, our wait for constructors will have to continue, I guess. But you know, you never know. Maybe next season. Yeah, I think overall a good season. Really, I've certainly enjoyed being your teammates. So at least that's good.
Same here.
And hopefully everyone has enjoyed watching these videos with both of us as well. That's gonna wrap up season 13 then. Yeah, it's been a long ride for the FisChris underdog squad, but you know, gonna be back in season 14 on F1 2017. Should be good. Chris, any final words?
Not really. Regarding season 14, you know, it's gonna be well, we will see where we will compete in the end, I guess, since I think it's not decided really on which platform we were gonna do it. I guess that's gonna depend on some other factors really, but yeah, we will definitely stay together as teammates and see how it goes.
Yeah. Alright, good stuff. So thanks everyone who has watched us throughout the season. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you again in season 14. Goodbye.